have completely skipped spring. It was under 50 degrees on Friday here on the north side of Chicago. We're already in the mid to upper 80s. Memorial Day Cubs action, and we are in the Bud Light bleachers today here on WGN Sports. It's a Hyundai leadoff man. Len Casper will be joined by Bob Brenly here momentarily, but we're having fun with the bleacher rights as the Cubs host the Houston Astros today. The Cubs winning yesterday 3-2, and they are now 3-3 on this 9-game homestand. Coming up, we're going to chat with today's starting center fielder, rookie Tony Campana. But as we go to break, our Chicago and Northwest Hyundai dealers spotlight reminds us to check out the award-winning Hyundai Sonata and the all-new Hyundai Elantra at myhyundai.com. The Hyundai Leadoff Man, brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Check out the award-winning Hyundai Sonata and the all-new Elantra at myhyundaichicago.com. Hey, Tony, we need you right now, man.
Take it easy, man. I'm right here.
Oh, my goodness, you are fast. Tony Campana's with us. We will be not heckling you, we will be supporting you today out here in the bleachers. So you've been here this week, and tell us about playing at Wrigley Field.
Oh, it's been unbelievable. I mean, I'd never even been here as a fan before, and I get here, and my first time ever here, I get to play. It's pretty unbelievable.
How have the fans out here in the bleachers been with you?
They've been awesome. I mean, it's pretty cool. They yell at you the whole game. They actually, yesterday, sang happy birthday to me because, it's my birthday today. It's pretty cool. I mean, they yell at you and give you a hard time if you don't give them a ball and cheer for you when you make a nice play.
Pretty good birthday, huh? Spending it in the big leagues.
Yeah, unbelievable. Dream come true. It's everything. It's the best birthday present you could ever ask for.
Now, it's an interesting story. We've talked a lot about it. You dealt with Hodgkin's lymphoma when you were 7 years old and went through 10 years battling it. Can you talk about how that has shaped you not only as a baseball player but as a person?
Yeah, I think just being that fighter that I am, and always just giving it everything I got, kind of play every day as that's the last day that you could be there. And I think that's how I play on the field, and that's how I like to carry myself as a person too.
Did you have any doubts you'd be at this level, even though a lot of people probably did doubt that you would get here?
I think there was probably some points when I struggled in the minor leagues or struggled in college that I was like, man, I don't know if I'm going to make it, but then you just come back the next day and keep doing it.
In terms of who helped shape you as a baseball player, are there any coaches or teammates in particular in the minor leagues who really helped you out?
I would have to say Bill Dancy, the AAA manager. He helped me out a lot, and Tommy Byers was my hitting coach last year in AA too. He was awesome, and I mean just a lot of my teammates that I played with just telling me not to change the way I play.
So you come up, you're in Cincinnati, just a few miles down the road from your hometown, and essentially, and we happened to be in Mike Quaddy's office when you said hi to him. He said, "Be ready, you're going to use you off the bench." But you know how this game is. Things can change quickly. Unfortunately, Marlon Byrd got hurt, Reed Johnson, and now you're basically playing every day.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good opportunity. I mean, I'm getting in there and getting a chance to help the team win, and hopefully we can win a few more games. And yeah, it's awesome. I love playing, and that's why you're here.
So you're going to toss us a couple balls like between innings, right? I mean, you're going to have fun with us today, I hope.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, it's great to see you, Tony, and have fun today. And welcome to summer here in Chicago. We went from about 48 to about 90 today. Should be fun.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen the sun in Chicago since I've been here, so I'm glad it's actually here.
And is that hat on straight? Kind of. It's getting a little bit straighter.
It's getting straighter and straighter as more guys on the team tell me to straighten it out.
As a rookie, you do what the veterans tell you, right?
Absolutely.
Thanks so much, Tony. Good luck today.
Thank you.
That's rookie Tony Campana. Time now for Bob's AutoZone tip of the day. Today is about remembering the past. As Memorial Day, a day of remembrance, as we think about those who have died in our nation's service. The tip of the day brought to you by AutoZone. For the auto parts, accessories, and advice you need, get in the zone. AutoZone. The Hyundai Leadoff Man, brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Check out the award-winning Hyundai Sonata and the all-new Elantra at myhyundaichicago.com. Welcome back. It's our annual Bleacher broadcast. We're just moments away from the first pitch as the Cubs host the Houston Astros. The Cubs are in fifth in the NL Central right now, 23-28. The Astros have the second worst record in baseball at 19-34. Aneoye Rodriguez, a right-hander, looking for his first major league win. He's 0-2, spent April in the bullpen, and has been in their rotation in May. Rodrigo Lopez, veteran right-hander, will make his Cubs debut, pitching well at AAA with Atlanta before he was acquired late last week. Bob Brenly will join me here in the bleachers. We're going to have some fun today in the sun. The Cubs hosting the Astros on Memorial Day. Next. let's see, lots of sun, blue skies, and hot temperatures. Kind of feels and sounds like summer, doesn't it? It's Memorial Day, and we picked the perfect day to be in the Bud Light bleachers. The Astros and the Cubs on WGN. We welcome Cub fans from all over the country watching on WGN America, America's home for baseball. Len and Bob with you and our WGN Sports crew, soaking up the Rays today. It's been so long, hasn't it?
It really has been a long time. If we knew all it took for us was to come to the bleachers, we'd have been out here the first homestand of the year.
It was 48 degrees on Friday, and it's maybe going to reach the 90s today. And the Cubs, Bob, are coming off a nice win yesterday. Clean ball game, some power, some situational hitting, and they beat the Pirates.
Yeah, 155 at-bats between homers for Aramis Ramirez. Certainly everybody in Cubdom hoping he's going to heat it up. And then the Cubs able to manufacture some runs with their speed. We saw some get them over, get them in, sacrifice flies. A very, very clean ball game, solid defensively all the way around. And Ryan Dempster, after a shaky start, really settled in and pitched a good ball game.
Starlin Castro with a couple of key plays. The sac fly to give the Cubs the 3-2 lead. And then this defensive play helping out the closer Carlos Marmol in the ninth. Cubs win the game 3-2. They come in 5 games under 500. And right now 3-3 on this homestand. Rodrigo Lopez for the Cubs. Aneoye Rodriguez for the Astros. Time now for God Bless America and our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise as this afternoon's colors are presented by the United States Air Force Color Guard. Ladies and gentlemen, at the conclusion of the national anthem, an American bald eagle named Challenger will soar down onto the field. Challenger is a non-releasable bald eagle cared for by the nonprofit American Eagle Foundation, headquartered at Dollywood in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. He is named in honor of the Space Shuttle crew. Challenger was blown from a wild nest as a baby during a storm and was hand-raised by the people who rescued him. Unfortunately, he experienced too much human contact at a very young age and became human socialized. As a result, Challenger thinks he's a person and cannot survive on his own in the wild. He is cared for by the American Eagle Foundation under federal and state permits for educational purposes. Acting as an ambassador for his species, Challenger has raised a great level of national public awareness about the need to restore and protect America's eagles, natural resources, and environment. The bald eagle is still a protected species throughout the lower 48 states, and much of its nesting and feeding habitat is being encroached upon by humans. Let's keep America's eagles flying strong and free. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chicago Cubs welcome a very special guest to Wrigley Field. Second Lieutenant Patrick Caston is in training to be an infantry officer with the 4th Infantry Division in Fort Carson, Colorado. He is heading to Ranger School and will be deployed to Afghanistan early next year. The Chicago Cubs would like to take this moment to thank Second Lieutenant Caston, along with all our servicemen and women, both in this country and around the world, for their selfless dedication, courage, and sacrifice in protecting our freedom and defending this great country. At this time, please remain standing. Kindly remove your caps and join Jackie Dustin as she honors America with God Bless America, followed by our national anthem.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. from the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
As they say, the Eagle has landed, and we're set for Cubs baseball on Memorial Day 2011. The Cubs hosting the Astros. Coming up next. Chicago Cubs baseball brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball and your Chicago Cubs. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Ford. The newest vehicles on the road are now at your local Ford store, like the all-new Ford Explorer SUV, 100% reinvented. Visit localfordstores.com. Ford, drive one. And by the Illinois Lottery. How does $1,000 a week every week for the rest of your life sound? Then play Cash for Life instant games from the Illinois Lottery. The longer you live, the more you get. Chicago Cubs baseball in high definition is brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. We greet you today from the bleachers. We are right next to the batter's eye in center field, and it's a bit windy today. Got to lock everything down out here in the bleachers, but we'll be all right. Right now the wind is blowing straight out as we look up at the flags atop the center field scoreboard. And let's look in on the Houston Astros starting lineup written out by their manager, Brad Mills. Michael Bourne will lead it off in center. Two of the fastest center fielders in baseball with Bourne and Campana in this game. Clint Barmas was on the DL, did not play against the Cubs in Houston in April. Hunter Pence is hot. He's hitting 10 in a row. Carlos Lee always hits the Cubs well, and he's been very good on Memorial Day. Jeff Keppinger recently back from the DL. Brett Wallace is at first. Chris Johnson at third. J.R. Tolles a catcher. They have two catchers on the DL. And Neui Rodriguez, the pitcher, will hit ninth.
And let's check out how the Cubs take the field defensively today behind starter Rodrigo Lopez. Brought to you by Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball and your Chicago Cubs. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. It'll be Soriano. Tony Campana celebrating a birthday today, playing right in front of us in center field. It'll be Fukudome over in right. Ramirez Castro, Barney Pena once again across the infield. Welcome back to Giovanni Soto doing the catching today for 35-year-old right-hander Rodrigo Lopez, making his first start as a member of the Cubs.
See the career record. This is his 200th career start, the 228th career game. And the umpires, Mike Everett, will call the balls and strikes. Chris Guccione at first. Corey Blazer at second, and the crew chief, Mike Winters, is over at third. Cubs won 2 of 3 against Houston at Minute Maid Park in April. And the first pitch of the game is lined out into left center for a base hit. The speedy Michael Bourne is on. Lopez was acquired in a minor league deal on Thursday for left-hander Ryan Buchter, who was pitching at Single-A Daytona. And then the next day the Cubs put him on the big league roster, and he takes a spot previously occupied by Casey Coleman in the rotation. Here's Clint Barmas.
And then we expect Michael Bourne to run regardless of who's on the mound or who's behind the plate. But you have to believe with Giovanni Soto returning from the disabled list and Rodrigo Lopez making his first start, Michael Bourne will probably be even more aggressive than normal.
Southwest wind blowing straight out at 11 miles an hour. And we are at 88 degrees.
We're on another planet.
40 degrees warmer than the game time temperature for game 1 of the Pirates series on Friday. That pitch is taken low on a changeup, which is an important pitch for Rodrigo Lopez. 2 balls, no strikes.
And not overpowering with his fastball. Throws a slider. He'll cut his fastball, try to sink it. Occasional straight changeup. Definitely needs to get ahead in the count. Not the kind of pitcher that can afford to throw down the middle of the plate when he's behind in the count.
There's a slider for a strike. Barmas fractured his left hand in spring training. Was hit by an Ivan Nova pitch against the New York Yankees on March 25th. So he missed their first 25 games.
But going back to spring training, I thought Clint Barmas was a guy that was really going to make a difference for this Astros ball club. Pretty much a dead pull hitter unless he's trying to hit behind the runner. And going from Coors Field to That bandbox down in Houston, I thought he was going to get a lot of home runs into those Crawford boxes, and he may still before the year's over.
Another check on Michael Bourne. 18 steals, ranking 3rd in the major leagues. And when the Astros run, they're normally successful. They're at about 86%. That's the best stolen base percentage in the game. They're 42 out of 49. Bourne not running. And it's hit foul.
I take an inning or two to change our perspective here.
And it's totally the opposite.
Yeah. However, we do have a great view of pitches either in or out of the strike zone. We have to keep a close eye on where the catcher sets up. That'll skew it a little bit, but a great view from straightaway center field.
Swing and a miss. Got him on a rising fastball at 88 miles an hour, and that's out number 1.
Well, we saw it with Ryan Dempster yesterday against the Pirates, and the same thing will go for Rodrigo Lopez today. Expand the zone when you're ahead. The key for Lopez, as I mentioned a moment ago, is to get ahead in the count so he can use all of his pitches and throw those tempting borderline strikes up there to hopefully get some swings and misses.
He will give up home runs. He gave up 37 last year with Arizona, the most in the majors. Here's a guy you got to really be careful with, Hunter Pence.
Having a good year and has a good history against Lopez. 5 for 9 lifetime with a homer and a double against Cubs right-hander.
Also loves the month of May. Outside, 1-1. As always, we are reachable via email, even in the bleachers. Bob at Tribune.com. Facebook is open, so is our Twitter account. That'll be a base hit out into right center, and it's going to roll to the wall. That should allow Michael Bourne to score as Kosuke gets it back into Darwin Barney. An 11-game hitting streak now for Hunter Pence. Well, you put a guy on base and he's lethal. Bourne essentially, Bob, is in scoring position at first base because he's so fast. That doesn't count as a hit with runners in scoring position, but Pence has 27 of those hits, leading the majors.
He by far been their most consistent offensive threat all season long. Perfectly splits that gap in right center field, and as you mentioned, with Michael Bourne's speed, that's a gimme run right there. You hit a ball in the gap with him at first base, he's going to score easily.
Fly to right off the bat of Carlos Lee. Pence will tag and head to third, but there are 2 outs.
Second baseman number 8, Jeff Keppinger.
Comes Jeff Keppinger, another guy we didn't see in April. He had left foot surgery in the offseason and sat out the first 50 games. He was just activated from the disabled list on Friday. Lopez works from the windup with a runner at third and 2 outs and a called strike. Cubs chairman Tom Ricketts will make his way out to the bleachers and chat with us a little bit later. We've got lots of water and Gatorade, and I hear some food might be on the way too as we continue to stuff our faces this season. And another day, another roster move for the Cubs. Jeff Baker goes to the DL with a left groin strain, and infielder DJ LeMahieu, 22 years old, first member of the Cubs' 09 draft class to get to the majors. He was a second rounder. He can play second, third, maybe a little short, maybe a little first. And it has been literally a move a day at least for the last several for the Cubs.
Jeff Baker just not showing the kind of progress with that groin injury that the Cubs were expecting. They were hoping it would just be a day-to-day thing, maybe use him as a pinch hitter here or there and eventually get him back out on the field on a full-time basis, but just not responding to treatments, not healing the way the Cubs would like. So going to shut him down completely for 15 days, let that thing heal up.
1-2 to Keppinger, and just got a piece of that sinker, and the count holds. In the dirt, 2-2. And a changeup. Lopez becomes a 9th different Cubs starter. And only the Rockies have used that many starting pitchers here over the first 2 months.
And it's tough to establish any kind of consistency in your rotation. Certainly this is where Mike Quade is thankful for Carlos Zambrano and Ryan Dempster as 2 veterans at the top of that rotation, because it's been a revolving door at the other 3 slots.
Matt Garza threw on flat ground today, and hopefully will be back within the next week or so. Shallow center, Campana lays out, can't get it, just off the end of his glove, and the Astros get their second run of the inning as Pence scores on a double by Keppinger. Good effort by Tony Campana as he laid out and just could not get it.
And good jump on the ball by Campana. Looked like Keppinger got jammed a little bit, took a full swing, but didn't hit the ball very hard. Those are the kind that can fool a center fielder, but Tony got a good jump, just couldn't get to the spot quickly enough.
Thanks to Tony, the birthday boy, turning 25 today, for having a little fun with us on the leadoff man here in the bleachers. Brings up Brett Wallace. Off to a very good start. He's hitting .311. That on base percentage at .384, just out of the top 10. He's 11th in the NL. Outside, ball 1.
Just had the Mets in town a few days ago. Their first baseman Ike Davis on the disabled list right now, but having himself a fine offensive season. Brett Wallace and Ike Davis were teammates at Arizona State University. Pretty good thunder in the middle of your lineup.
Swing and a miss on a slider. 1-2.
Wallace at that point was a third baseman playing for the Sun Devils. Ike Davis a first baseman and occasional closer for Pat Murphy at ASU.
Much better April than May so far for Brett Wallace. Cubs got down early 2-0 yesterday, but the Pirates would not score after the first inning. There's Ryan Dempster and company. Got it done. The Cubs scored just enough runs.
Well, it was fun to watch Ryan Dempster yesterday. It may not have been too much fun for him because he was laboring in that first inning trying to find the strike zone with his sinker, but as veteran pitchers will occasionally do, he found a way to get through the outing and give his team a chance to win the ball game.
Slicing drive out of play down the left field line.
We probably saw more splitters and sliders from Ryan Dempster yesterday than we've seen in his time here in Chicago.
Got the win to improve to 4-4 on the year. On a long road to get that ERA down. Right now it's 6.00. Carlos Pena will flip to Lopez covering first. And the inning is over, but 2 runs on 3 hits. The Cubs are coming up. Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball, and your Chicago Cubs 0 calories maximum Pepsi Taste. Cubs hit under 200 against the Pirates. Did get 1 out of 3 in that series. Fukudome, Barney, and Castro at the top. Ramirez with a homer yesterday. Pena, Soriano in the middle. Campana, Giovanni Soto with his first start back from the DL, and the pitcher Lopez.
Take a look at the Astros defensively. El Caballo, Carlos Lee in left field. Michael Bourne in center. I do believe Tony Campana could post him up. Hunter Pence over in right field. It'll be Johnson, Barmas, Keppinger, and Wallace across the infield, third to first. J.R. Tolles doing the catching. What's his first name? Aneui.
Yeah.
Aneui Rodriguez. Looking for his first victory of the season. ERA stands just under 5. He too a sinker slider pitcher, an occasional changeup, occasional cutter.
Rule 5 guy from the Tampa Bay Rays, facing the Cubs for the 3rd time. The other 2 times were in relief. He spent April in relief and then jumped into the rotation for Nelson Figueroa in May.
I keep repeating it.
1 strike on the Cubs leadoff man. Wow. 1-1.
This is just an absolutely perfect day for offensive baseball. I mean, we've used all the excuses possible for the Cubs early in the season. The cold temperatures, the rain, winds blowing in. There are no excuses today. Perfect day to play baseball. Wind blowing straight out here at Wrigley Field. Batting practice was quite a display today.
Up in the air to center. Michael Bourne really battling the sun and makes the catch. Fans behind us trying to distract him a little bit. No problem for the Gold Glover, Michael Bourne.
You can see he kind of got around that baseball, tried to get it out of the sun, used his glove to shield his eyes, and then made an adjustment right at the very end to ultimately make the catch.
2-time Gold Glover Michael Bourne. You see the Stars and Stripes caps both teams are wearing, and every team around baseball here on Memorial Day. Darwin Barney, the second baseman. Fastball at 92 with some late life for a strike. Go back over 60 years, Darwin Barney with the highest Cubs rookie batting average to this point. That one at the knees. 1-2. Giovanni Soto was the Rookie of the Year in 2008. The guy at the bottom had a pretty good career, didn't he? Mr. Cub. Sometimes, Bob, you can just watch a guy make a few pitches and you can see whether he's got good stuff, and it's pretty obvious Rodriguez does have good stuff.
Yeah, he's got a live arm. Scouts would say he's got good life in his arm. Ball seems to explode out of his hand. You mentioned the late movement as that ball gets into the hitting zone.
Out in the left center, and it's going to split the gap. It's by Bourne. Barney motoring to second. Long strides as he heads to third with a standing triple. Getting this crowd revved up here in the bleachers.
Couldn't really tell what was going on down on the warning track in front of us, but the Astros took a long time to get that ball off of the track and back into the infield. Got past Michael Bourne. Oh, El Caballo to be seen backing up the play, and Darwin Barney, as usual, he's going to run till you make him stop. Turns the corner at second and chugs into third with a stand-up triple.
His third triple, the Cubs' 10th. So he's 90 feet away for Starlin Castro. Cubs with a chance to at least get one back right off the bat. And a base hit for Castro. It's 2-1 as Barney will score. RBI number 25 for Starlin.
That's a way to do it. A little instant offense, a rolling breaking ball in the middle of the strike zone for Starlin Castro. And with Johnson drawn in at third base, he's able to slap that ball right past him in the left field to put the Cubs on the board.
Here comes Aramis Ramirez, who ended the second longest homerless drought of his career yesterday. Went 155 at bats between long balls as he pulls one deep but foul. Homered on April 6th, and then his next one was yesterday off Jeff Karstens. Line shot to left.
Now, some hitters say they come in bunches. We certainly hope so. We've documented over the past couple of weeks the success of the leadoff hitter, whoever it happens to be on a given day. Darwin Barney, we showed you his numbers on the season. Starlin Castro, one of the best hitters in the National League. They need to get this guy going.
Swing and a miss on a slider. Castro with a good jump, and he gets in safely with a stolen base.
Starlin did get a good jump over there at first. Doesn't run a lot, but picked a good spot right here. A little bit late on the slide right there. Came in there hard with the left ankle. Bounces right up over the top of the bag. Fortunately, he's able to hook it with his right foot and stay on the base.
Team leading 5 for 5 for Castro. Now base hit could tie it. 0-2 to Ramirez. Fly to center, and again Bourne dealing with his son. Castro tagging, and he'll get to third safely. 2 outs. It'll be Carlos Pena with 2 outs. Watch the Cubs take on the Astros this Wednesday at 1:20 here at Wrigley Field. Be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans get a Cubs watch compliments of Wrigley. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. It'll be the final game of this homestand, and the Cubs will hit the road for 10 straight. And it won't be an easy trip. St. Louis, Cincinnati, and Philadelphia. Carlos Pena deep to right. Gone into the basket. A 2-run homer giving the Cubs the lead. 7 home runs for Carlos Pena, and that line shot left in a big-time hurry.
Well, and we talked about it the other night when Pena homered into the teeth of a stiff wind blowing in from right field. This is a very similar swing, very similar result. A line drive into the front row and straightaway right field. He is starting to heat up himself.
We got a pretty good look at that ball getting into the basket from our perch here in left center. Well, you said it feels like an offensive day, and it's shaping up to be that. I'm not so sure 3 runs will win this game.
I don't think so. Just keep adding on. Keep swinging. Good day to get fat if you're an offensive player. By that, I mean get some numbers. Fill up that box score.
2-0 to Soriano. Hit foul.
Talked about batting practice here at Wrigley Field earlier today. I was up in the press box at the time and heard that very distinctive ping of somebody taking batting practice with an aluminum bat. Guess who?
Carlos Zambrano.
Carlos Zambrano. He was hitting balls out onto Sheffield Avenue up near the scoreboard in center field with an aluminum bat. Ping. There's so many noises that are natural here at the ballpark, and you're very accustomed to hearing them and don't really pay much attention. It's just background noise.
Fair ball, diving stop. Chris Johnson. Throw to first, dugout by Wallace. Nice defensive play on both ends. Astros got 2 in the top. The Cubs with 3 in the bottom. Suffering an apparent leg injury as he tried to beat out this ground ball. He grabs the left quad as he gets to first base, and he's out of the game. Blake DeWitt's going to replace him in left field. So the Cubs just continuing to deal with injuries, and this is why Reed Johnson and Jeff Baker had to go to the DL, Bob, because you get stuck in a game like this with guys who are unavailable on your bench and you're really in a bind.
Yeah, no question about it. I think Mike Quaddy going with Blake DeWitt. Number one, because Blake has been getting some reps in the outfield early before batting practice, taking some fly balls, throwing to the bases. Plus, it gives him another left-handed bat in the lineup against the right-handed throwing Rodriguez.
Montañez and Snyder would be other options. His third baseman, Chris Johnson, did swing at that pitch. 0-2 the count. 2 for the Astros, 3 for the Cubs. Big blow was a 2-run homer by Carlos Pena. an update on Alfonso Soriano, but it looked like it was a quad.
Yeah, Mike Quaddy was just talking about Alfonso Soriano and some of his defensive struggles in left field. And when you don't have your legs underneath you, when you don't feel like you can start and stop as you need to make plays, it's going to make you tentative as an outfielder. And Mike Quaddy spoke to that after the ball game yesterday and again before the game today.
Still 1-2. By far the hottest day of the season. It's not even close. If you look at some of the weather stats, this is the Cubs' 29th home game. Castro will make the catch. Average game time temperature 52 degrees. First pitch below 50 16 times, including the first 4 games of this homestand: 45, 47, 42, and 48. Yesterday, just the 8th time we were above 60. And officially today at first pitch 88. Here's the catcher, J.R. Tolles, a bunt attempt, and he hit it foul. And back to the seats.
Wrigleyville Rooftops has premier seating for up to 200 guests for corporate gatherings, family reunions, and bachelor or bachelorette parties. Individual and group tickets are available for all games. For more details, go to www.wrigleyvillerooftops.com or call 773-248-ROOF.
Astros with a couple of catchers on the disabled list. Jason Castro, after right knee surgery, probably done for the year, and Humberto Quintero with a high right ankle sprain, suffered in a home plate collision just a couple of days ago. Called strike 3, got him on the comeback sinker. Strikeout number 2 for Rodrigo Lopez.
A nice movement on that sinker by Rodrigo Lopez. We talked about the movement that Rodriguez is getting out there on the mound. Real good comeback sinker that time from the Cubs right-hander.
Called strike on Rodriguez. Looking for his first major league win, looking for his first big league hit. Castro will throw him out. Shutdown inning for Lopez. They go 1-2-3, 3-2 Cubs.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN TV is sponsored in part by Mega Millions and now Powerball from the Illinois Lottery. Tuesday's Mega Millions jackpot stands at $12 million, while Wednesday's Powerball jackpot $200 million.
Hanging in the bleachers today. Wind blowing out. 3-2 as we get into the bottom of the second inning.
Woo!
Feels good, doesn't it? You led the fans in singing happy birthday to Tony Campana.
Yeah,
this bleacher thing is very natural to you.
Well, I'll tell you what, I spent a lot of time in the bleachers, not necessarily here at Wrigley Field, but it's the only ticket I could afford at most ballparks I went to, and that's where the good people are.
We're having fun today as Tony Campana will lead off, hitting 7th in the lineup, and takes a low fastball, caught the bottom part of the zone for a strike.
I did watch one game from the bleachers here at Wrigley Field when my college teammate Steve Swisher was catching for the Cubs. I was playing down in Bloomington, Illinois in college summer ball, and drove up for the day and talked our way into the guards down in the left field corner, snuck up here in the bleachers and watched the ball game.
The statute of limitations has run out on that.
I hope so.
Yeah. 0-2. Slider buried in the dirt.
If I remember correctly, that was some story we spun to the security guard to let us in. We were teammates of Swish's in college at Ohio University. We drove 42 hours to be here. Begged money for gas. Got no place to stay tonight. We just made it here in time for the game. Please, can you just let us in? We'll stand in the aisle and watch the game. We don't even need a seat. He went for it.
2-2 pitch. Keppinger late. He can run. An infield hit for Campana.
Well, until the National League gets a little more familiar with Tony Campana, he's going to get his share of infield hits. Any hesitation whatsoever, even on a routine ground ball, he's going to leg it out for an infield hit. I mean, he gets up to top speed in about 2, maybe 3 steps. He is running full speed out of that box.
Good to have Giovanni Soto back on the roster and in the lineup. Activated yesterday. Campana takes off. The pitch is a breaking ball. That gives Campana just enough time to get in. He didn't wait around. Infield hit, and he steals his 2nd bag of the year.
Boy, had a nice lead over there at first base, and Rodriguez paid very little attention to him. See, if you don't shorten up Tony Campana's lead and alter your delivery to home plate, it's going to be a track meet.
Swing and a miss. 0-2. Back-to-back sliders to start the at-bat. Remember Gio's injury. It was a strained groin suffered when he was trying to slide to his right and block a pitch. The Soriano injury, a left quad strain. We are unsure of the severity of it as Soto strikes out. Hey, fans, couldn't get tickets to the Yankees, White Sox, or Cardinals series at Wrigley? Cubs Destinations has spots available for these highly anticipated matchups. All standard packages include great tickets, first-class hotel accommodations, a special Cubs gift bag, a tour of the ballpark, and a private meet and greet with a current Cubs player. For more information, visit Cubs.com. This is our view from the bleachers. You get a good look at the back of our heads. Many would say this is our best side. On strike. On Lopez. Hasn't done a whole lot with the bat. fouls that one off. Rodrigo is from Mexico. Back in 2002, finished second in the AL Rookie of the Year balloting, won 15 games with the Baltimore Orioles. Signed with the Padres way back in 1995.
That's the great equalizer for a base stealer on at second base. That inside move by the pitcher where he picks up that front leg, turns back towards second base. That time Campana read it perfectly, got back to the bag without a throw.
Swing and a miss. He got him. 2 gone. And it'll be up to Kosuke with Campana at second. He flied to center in the first inning. Well, the outfielders watching Michael Bourne. He's right in front of us, constantly checking on that sun as the angle is changing constantly. Right now, it is a problem for Bourne, and as the day moves along, it'll be a bigger issue for Hunter Pence and Kosuke Fukudome.
Also checking on that sun because he's positioned differently for different hitters and moves according to the count. Sometimes you move 4 or 5 steps to your right or left and it changes the angle of that sun. As you said, he's constantly looking up there, making sure he knows exactly where it is should the ball come his direction.
Top 3 in the Cubs order continue to hit over 300, kind of bunched together going into action today. Fukudome at 315, Barney 314, Castro 318. Here it is, way outside. Cubs owe the Astros a little payback. The Astros were here 3 times last season. They won 2 of 3 in all 3 sets. Three and 1. Walk to bring up Barney.
What would you do with an extra $1,000 a week every week for the rest of your life? Play Cash for Life instant games from the Illinois Lottery. You keep living, we keep giving. $1,000 a week for life. The longer you live, the more you get.
Triple and the Cubs' first run for Darwin Barney in the opening inning. Campana takes off for third, and a throw to first. Gets behind Wallace. That'll allow Campana to score, and it's 4-2. Tony Campana making things happen.
Now, Tony Campana had seen enough moves by Rodriguez out there at second base. He must have seen something because he was off like a shot for third base. Kosuke initially broke for second. didn't feel like he had a good enough jump to steal the bag, so went back to first base, and Tolles promptly threw the ball down the right field line, allowing Campana to get to his feet and score.
Astros have struggled defensively this year. So have the Cubs in terms of defensive efficiency. The baseball prospectus number in terms of turning batted balls into outs. These are the two worst defensive clubs in baseball. So you want to put pressure on the Astros defense if you can. And the Cubs just did. Chance to get another one here with Fukudome in scoring position. That one dropped out of the strike zone, and it's 2-1. How about 3 stolen bases already in the first 2 innings?
I don't like that. I think every manager other than maybe Earl Weaver likes to have guys in your lineup that can steal bases, put some pressure on that defense. But if guys just don't have it in them, you're going to run into a lot of easy outs on the bases. But in today's lineup, with Starlin Castro stealing a base already and Tony Campana flashing all around the bases, Mike Quaddy's going to have some fun today pushing buttons.
Swing and a foul tip, strike 3. But they add a run, an unearned tally, and it's 4-2 Cubs at the end of 2. As we get into the third, and we remember 2 great Cubs who passed away last year. Phil Cavarretta, who went to Lane Tech just up Addison, and number 10, Ron Santo. So number 10 flying along with 14 Ernie Banks. A couple of 31s, Jenkins and Maddox. Rodrigo Lopez gave up 2 in the first. Quickly worked through the bottom of the Houston order in the second. Single and a run for Bourne in the opening inning. One hit foul. That will drop foul. Shot from just above our perch here in the bleachers. High for ball 2, 2-2.
You know, with Blake DeWitt taking over for Alfonso Soriano in left field, I would expect Tony Campana to cheat over that direction a little bit more than normal.
Bourne as his second single.
And we know the kind of speed Tony Campana has, can cover a lot of ground. Kosuke Fukudome the same thing in right field. Blake DeWitt is the one outfielder that's going to need a little extra help today, so I think you'll see Campana a step or two more toward left field than he normally would be.
On pause by Lopez. Bourne not running, and the pitch taken for ball 1 by Barmes, who struck out swinging his first time. Lopez, the 7th Mexican-born Cub in franchise history. Only one non-pitcher from Mexico has worn a Cubs uniform. Barney on the back pedal with the catch for the out.
The new Bud Light Bleacher Series provides fans with exciting new opportunities in the Bud Light bleachers this season, including free t-shirt Mondays, $3 12-ounce draft Bud and Bud Light Tuesday nights, and $1 Vienna beef hot dog Wednesdays. Tuesday night specials also available in select locations in the Seating Bowl. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com.
This was the giveaway today. The Passion t-shirts designed by Coy Hill with Ron Santos number 10 circled. Sleeve it says play like a 10. Hunter Pence with an RBI double and a run his first time up. Runner at first, 1 out. Cubs leading 4-2. Pence a ball of energy. There goes Bourne. Here's a throw by Soto. Gets into center. It'll be a steal and an error on Soto. It's the kind of day Michael Bourne watches Tony Campana run around the diamond. He's going to try to do the same.
And that's a big part of your game. You have to utilize your skills, and Michael Bourne's been one of the best base stealers in the National League for a long time. Kind of a half-hearted effort that time by Darwin Barney. He's kind of made a swipe at that throw that short hop second base, wasn't able to come up with it. It scoots through into center field.
Bourne has led the league in steals each of the last 2 years. It's cold. I need a jacket.
We can call into Otis. They'll bring you out a parka
man.
or something. Get a Duraflame log going here. Take the chill off.
It was in the mid-70s about 8:30 this morning.
I still didn't believe it, though, Lynn. I don't know about you, but I went outside. It felt pretty nice. I went back inside, had a cup of coffee, went back out again. I kept waiting for the temperature to drop and the rain to start, but it just continued to get warmer and warmer. Blue skies everywhere. Beautiful day here today.
1-2 pitch. We will do it again. Oh my. The food has arrived. This will warm us up.
Okay.
Kosuke on the move, makes a catch. Here comes a throw toward the plate. Bourne ended up staying at third. Big second out for Lopez.
Well, that's a case where Kosuke Fukudome charging that ball hard, and the reputation that he has for getting rid of the ball quickly was paid in advance. Michael Bourne only able to come about 3 or 4 steps down the line at third, read that throw from Fukudome, decided he was not going to be able to make it, and has to retreat back to third base.
You at least slightly surprised that Bourne didn't run anyway.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
normally he's going to go against any arm.
Try to force mistakes. That's what Michael Bourne's speed will do.
Ball strike to Carlos Lee. All right, what do we have working here?
I don't know.
Got some hot wings.
They didn't bring anything for you. Look at this.
I just want one.
Wow.
You can have the rest. 0-2 to Lee.
We got some burgers here too. A single and a double. I guess we know who gets which one, right? Man.
Thank you. They treat us right out here, don't they?
We'll be back with more in the 5th inning.
Let me guess, no napkins.
We may need a drop cloth for all this food.
Oh, we got a lot of napkins. Nice to know. Ooh. Well, that looked pretty good.
Yes, it did. Not quite as easy for me to umpire out here in the bleachers today, so we'll check with pitch tracks, and said that ball was off the plate inside. Good location, just not in the strike zone.
Wings from the 50-50 wings. Stan Burger, available at the Broadcast Grill and Sheffield Grill, located on the right field main concourse. 50-50 wings. We've got a new portable cart located in the left field bleacher patio. There's the portable cart. The 3-2 pitch, a fly ball. Barney backpedaling, and he can't get it, and the Astros get their third run. It's 4-3 on a bloop single by Carlos Lee.
Darwin got turned around just a little bit, chasing that pop foul, or pop fly rather, out into shallow right field. With that wind blowing out, it's going to push the ball completely different than we've seen at just about every game here at Wrigley Field this spring.
Another hit for Carlos Lee on Memorial Day. This has been his day among active players, the third best average on this particular holiday. And then you add the Wrigley Field component to it, and Carlos Lee, I'm sure, was very much looking forward to this day. 4:35 on Memorial Day. It's played by Ramirez, and he'll get the out at second base. And that'll end the inning. We're going to eat during the break. Hope you don't mind. Burgers and wings from Wrigley coming up.
Dig in.
We like to share with our friends.
Oh, yeah. No way we could have eaten all those wings. Does look like this isn't the first time they've had wings.
No. It's going to be messy. You just kind of know that going in.
Eat. Well, they did send some wet naps, which was kind of nice.
If I fell asleep right now, that's what it would be. I'm sweaty. There's a strike on Starlin Castro. 4-3 Cubs in the bottom of the third. Pitch by Rodriguez. Ground ball to the second baseman, Jeff Keppinger, who gets Castro. Cub fans, you can enjoy your own Ferris Bueller's Day Off thanks to Pepsi. To celebrate the 25th anniversary of the movie, fans can go to Jewel Osco and purchase a pair of 2-liter Pepsi bottles with a preferred card to be automatically entered in the contest. The winner will hop in a limo and enjoy a recreation of Ferris's Day Off in Chicago, complete with a stop at Wrigley Field and the chance to throw out a first pitch. Brought to you by Pepsi, Hollywood Boulevard Theater, and Jewel Osco. Two and 0 to Ramirez. 1 out, nobody on in the last of the third. Off the end of the bat, foul off to the right. Alfonso Soriano left after the bottom of the first inning with a left quad strain as he was trying to beat out a ground ball. He was thrown out and then had to leave the game.
I think we're going to get a ball hit up here today, Len.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Preferably in the bottom half of the inning. We got a glove here just in case.
Yeah, we might need it. You could probably barehand it. I don't think I could. I might need the glove. There's a line drive base hit.
Time to take a look at our BMW Ultimate Drive. Came in the first inning. Carlos Pena with a rocket line drive homer into the front row in right field. Really starting to heat it up. Some of those high, lazy fly balls are turning into line drives. Brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana BMW dealers. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
And that gave the Cubs a 3-2 lead. Pena never in a hurry to get the at bat started. He'll call time at the last second if he needs to. There we go. Way high. Ended up taking the mask off the catcher, who kind of reach up and snag that high pitch.
Ball's headed for the bricks right there. Was able to go up the ladder, make the play, but loses his headgear. You talk about Pena controlling the rhythm of the at-bat, Len. I think that's a good point and something he's done throughout his career. If you get a pitcher on the mound that's working quickly between pitches, he's up on that rubber ready to pitch, and you don't feel comfortable in that batter's box, you have to request timeout and make sure you have time to prepare yourself physically and mentally to get back in that box for the next pitch. And Carlos refuses to get in there until he's ready.
I want to send out happy Memorial Day wishes to Sergeant Nathan James, currently in Afghanistan, Jeff Davidson of the U.S. Navy, Donald Elrod from the Marine Corps. Sean Taylor, Chris Finlayson, United States Army. 3-0 on the Cubs' leading walk man, Carlos Pena.
Also, Norma Perry would like to wish a happy birthday to her daughter Tracy, who shares a birthday with Tony Campana. So happy birthday to Tracy Perry today.
Pena already with 32 walks for a team that does not walk a lot as a club. Swinging away on the 3-0 and skying to right. Pence with the catch in the second out. Ball was up in the air a long time. Well, the first at bat for Blake DeWitt. He came in to play left for the injured Alfonso Soriano in the second inning. Rodriguez wanted it, didn't get it from Mike Ebert.
You really don't like the reason that Blake DeWitt is in the lineup coming in for the injured Alfonso Soriano, but you'd like to see him get rewarded. I know you know this, Len. The guys that don't get much playing time probably work twice as hard as the guys that are in the lineup on a daily basis. Early batting practice, taking ground balls all over the infield, more recently taking fly balls in the outfield. Really working hard in the cage with Rudy Jaramillo, trying to get his swing into a groove, and you'd like to see him get rewarded for that here this afternoon.
Now with Jeff Baker out taking some ground balls at first base.
Get
Deep to center. It's Bourne. Can't get it. It's off the wall. Boy, he got to the spot, but just did not reach up to get it. Ramirez scores. And the Cubs get that run right back. It's 5-3.
That's a nice reward for Blake DeWitt. Well hit ball to deep right center field on a fastball up and out over the plate. You know, Alfonso Soriano takes a lot of criticism for the way he plays the wall here at Wrigley Field, but I got to tell you, my experience over the years, I don't see anybody that's really too anxious to jump into the bricks out there. Michael Bourne looked like he might have had a play on that ball with another step and a little bit of a jump, but he shied away from the wall, as did Hunter Pence. It drops for a triple.
And on the replay, it did look like it landed higher on the wall than that initial look.
Of course, the wall is padded now by the ivy, right? It's a lot softer.
I suppose technically so. The 1-0 Campana outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Let's see where it landed. Yeah, Bourne would not have been able to get it.
Near the bottom of the basket there. I'll tell you, that ball, another inch or two, it gets tucked over that yellow line and into the basket for a home run.
Two and one. Cubs have scored in every inning. Breaking ball got away from Rodriguez. It's 3-1. Wind starting to gust, still blowing straight out to center. He walked him.
I have to believe at some point in the at-bat by Giovanni Soto, we'll see the fake to third, throw to first pickoff attempt. Astros in 3 innings of this ball game are already well aware of Tony Campana's speed and how it can change the game. And this figures to be a running situation. You've got your number 8 hitter at the plate with 2 outs in the inning. Should Campana happen to get thrown out at second base, you like leading off with Gio in the next inning. If he steals it successfully and the Astros decide to walk Gio, it loads them up for the pitcher.
That was Brad Arnsberg, the Astros pitching coach. Cianis with a handheld camera roaming around the bleachers today. These wonderful shots from a viewpoint we don't normally see here on WGN. First and third, it's Soto taking one right down the middle.
In its own way, it's even more beautiful from this vantage point, because up in the press box we don't see a lot of the fans. They're below us, they're out of our line of sight. But from this angle, looking back in, not only do you see the grandstands filled up, the upper deck filled, the rooftops filled, people everywhere.
Batter's eye with the juniper bushes, and here we are. Stage manager Paula Ostroba with the hat of the day, I have to say. Functional and fashionable.
There was the fake to third, look to first. Of course, the good base stealers are well aware of that move. I'm sure Tony Campana has seen that just about every time he's been on first with a runner at third.
Blocked by Tolles, 1-2.
A steady diet of breaking balls to Giovanni Soto. That's kind of a general consensus thing when you got a guy coming back off the disabled list that hasn't seen a lot of live pitching, probably been taking a lot of batting practice, which straight fastballs in BP. Challenge him with breaking balls that first day back, and that's what the Astros have tried to do to Gio here this afternoon.
Another fake to third and a look at first. Campana runs. He's going to get second without a throw. Running all over the place today. 3 steals for Campana. 4 for the Cubs. Earlier, he was the first Cub to steal 2 bases in an inning since Alfonso Soriano in 2008. Called strike 3. On a breaking ball to end the inning. Cubs get one. It's 5-3 after 3.
That's right. We spare no expense.
Yeah, we're all class.
The budget for this production.
5-3, the Cubs with the lead as we get into the fourth inning, and always great to see Cubs chairman Tom Ricketts. We saw you signing some autographs walking
A little flyover. That's pretty nice.
Very cool.
Unexpected flyover.
That's another one.
Wow. Another one.
Here's another one.
Boy, Tom, you know how to make an entrance.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
That's my security detail. They follow me everywhere I go. Should be one more. Here we go.
And one more. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you can't beat Memorial Day.
Oh,
Well,
boy.
you can't, and this is always the start of summer, and it does feel like the middle of summer.
Yeah, we were overdue for this.
Well, we saw you earlier on this homestand passing out Cubs parkas, but this is a little more fun, handing out bottles of water.
Yeah, no kidding. It's been a tough spring. The weather's been just brutal.
Well, we hope a good changeup by Rodrigo Lopez to get Wallace a swing and miss that that we'll be all right here. Looks like the rest of the homestand, it should be nice and warm.
Yeah, you know, it's obviously it's been a unseasonable kind of spring, the coldest and wettest in the history of Chicago, and that's kept a lot of folks home. But I think we're behind it now, and it's going to be a great few weeks here in front of us.
You know, it may have kept a few folks home, but boy, you really have to tip your cap to the fans that have been coming out here in large numbers, weathering the elements and sitting through rain delays and loving their Cubs.
Oh, yesterday was unreal. About a 2.5-hour rain delay, as you guys know, and I think you know, almost no one left. We had a pretty full house when we got that thing rolling, so that was very exciting. We have great fans, as everyone knows, the best in the game by far.
And by the end of the day, it was a beautiful day here at the park as Lopez rings up Brett Wallace. This is the best park in baseball, but on a day like this, that ups the stakes even more. Where would you rather be than the bleachers at Wrigley Field on Memorial Day?
I mean, on a nice sunny day, this place just blossoms. It's unbelievable.
Well, Tom, you spent a few days out here in the bleachers in your youth.
I did. You know, we used to get tickets for every Saturday and Sunday game, and lived across the street for a lot of that time, and basically made it the cornerstone of our social life for many years.
And it is like a family out here in the bleachers. Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people don't realize there's a lot of sections here where people are basically regulars. They come to a lot of games. They all know each other. When I walk through here during games, I can walk. I know certain folks are in left, and certain folks are in center, and certain folks are in right. And you know, they're terrific. You know, it's a great community out here. It really is.
2 strikes. Chris Johnson pitch a little bit off the outside corner on another changeup. 1-2. Tom, we had a nice chat with Tony Campana, who's quickly become a fan favorite. He talked with us from the bleachers on the leadoff man. 3 steals today. What a great story. Swing and a miss.
Well, I just noticed Campana's jersey. When they had the Tony Campana jersey giveaway last year in Tennessee, it had his number, but it also had dirt all over it. So, because every game he looks like that. That's the way he plays. It's an exciting young guy to have on the team, no question.
We've seen a lot of the young Cubs by design and by necessity here lately with some of the injuries, and we certainly hope the Soriano one is just a minor at most day-to-day injury. But DJ LeMahieu is here with Jeff Baker going on the disabled list. We like what we saw from LeMahieu in spring training.
Yeah, I was just down in Tennessee last week, and LeMahieu was hitting about 370. Solid guy, you know, a college kid who's pretty mature for his number of years of professional experience, and really high ceiling. You know, really a solid hitter and a good defender, and hopefully he'll get a lot of playing time.
1-1 the count on the catcher J.R. Tolles. Bounced foul.
And you really have to love his attitude, Tom. I ran into him in the clubhouse right after he got here today, and I had been out on the bench listening to Mike Quaddy talk to the writers, and they asked him, does LeMahieu play first? So I thought I would beat everybody to the scoop. I went inside and I asked DJ, have you ever played any first? He said, no, but I will.
No, that's the kind of guy he is. He's played a lot of second, and he's played third, so I think first will be all right for him.
Can you hang for a couple more minutes?
I sure can.
I don't think we have to twist your arm to hang with us in the bleachers. Cubs leading 5-3.
With the Chicago Cubs and get an insider's look at more than 97 years of history in this legendary ballpark. Guided tours may include visits to the press box, clubhouses, and dugouts, as well as a chance to actually step on the field. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Tour sizes are limited and sell out fast, so get your tickets today.
It is Memorial Day, and we honor all those who have served our country. And we remember those who have died in our nation's service as well. And by the way, the flyover today by the Marines. And they're now headed back to San Diego. Not quite sure how long it'll take them to get to San Diego, but by the looks of it, not very long.
Not long.
We're here with Cubs chairman Tom Ricketts. Rodrigo Lopez batting for the second time. He carries a 5-3 lead into the bottom of the fourth. Tom, you were talking about watching some of the Double-A prospects. You've spent time abroad in the Caribbean as well, in the Dominican Republic and elsewhere, and I know it's important to you to have a strong system from top to bottom, and for you to get some firsthand experience, which you've done a lot of the last couple of years.
Yeah, obviously it's a big focus. Obviously you have to develop your bring in the right players and develop them, and so you got to be out there. You got to see what we have in the Dominican, and go down and visit the guys in Daytona and visit the guys in Tennessee. I'll be in Peoria later this year, and of course Iowa. And I'll probably be back more than once to a lot of those places. I mean, the guys in Daytona, I think they're like 39-12. Unbelievable.
They keep on winning.
They got a catching prospect down there. I forget his last name.
We'll have to look that up.
And as we've talked about a lot, your minor league system, the ultimate is to help the big league club, and there are two ways to do that. Those prospects coming up and playing at this level, and then when you need to add outside the organization, you can use those prospects, as the Cubs did in acquiring Matt Garza.
Right. I mean, it gives you a lot of flexibility. Obviously when a contract rolls off or a player moves on, to be able to fill him internally is your first choice. To go to the free agent market is always going to be a second choice. And then, of course, when you're looking for a trade, if you have good deep talent in the system, you can package up some of that and get a player that you need. And that Matt Garza trade is really really a tribute to the amount of depth we had in our system.
Always scouts here with the stopwatches and radar guns. 1 strike to Kosuke.
Well, he had a nice throw. How about that?
One of the fastest guys in the league didn't even test him, Michael Bourne.
So how's the food out here, guys?
The food's tremendous. There's a base hit.
There we go.
Rolled into right center. You know, there have been some food upgrades here at the ballpark as well, and I think we've had just about all of it.
Yeah. You know, I just had the heater today. That's one of my favorites. The dog with the hot sauce and the coleslaw.
Yeah.
You got to feature that one of these nights. But the wings out here are great.
The wings are great.
I'm a big fan of that Dag's Pizza. You can't go wrong with that.
No question. And they're just down the street. It's a great story. It's a fan favorite.
I had the Stan Burger.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Very nice. Did you eat the double and give me the single? Mm-hmm. You did.
Yeah. I know you're watching your weight.
Stanley's very own SKT sauce. I like it. Pop up by Barney, and it'll be Wallace, the first baseman, to make the catch, and that is the second out. Just curious, Tom, and we've got months before this becomes a huge topic with the new collective bargaining agreement, but a lot of conversation about an extra playoff team. Is that something you've thought about? Do you have an opinion on adding a wild card? Most people seem to be in favor of it.
Yeah, it's really an interesting question. I'm not sure I have a hard-coded opinion either way, but to have another team in the race toward the end of the season, that's a big plus. It'll keep another fan base really energized. And then the other thing is that, that first round of the playoffs is just a coin flip. It'll kind of make winning the division matter more again. And I like those kind of concepts. I don't think I don't know of any format that's been decided on or anything formal, but I think in the end it'd probably be a nice thing.
Sounds like at the most a 3-game series, if not a 1-game. Winner stays, loser goes home, and as you say, it would give a lot more advantage to a team that wins the division. So we'll see.
Yeah, I really think that's the main point. Get a couple extra playoff games, get another team interested until the end of the season, another fan base really excited. But that getting the division, winning the division, to mean something more again.
1-0 on Starlin Castro. Now, if I asked Bob the question about expanded replay, he would get rid of umpires totally. Do you like replay the way it stands right now for border calls? Home runs, fair, foul, whether it got out or not?
Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with what we have right now. Obviously from time to time you'll see a missed call, but it's a pretty small part in the game in the end, and to have it slow down the game, I'm not so sure we need that, to be honest.
Let's see, I'm not so sure it would slow down the game. It would actually create another job for an umpire. In my eyes, the way I see it happening, an umpire that sits up in the booth with a bank of monitors in front of him that could get the call right immediately, signal down to the umpires on the field, or have some kind of radio communication and get it right.
So you're about creating jobs, Bob. I like that. Oh, Hicks can't handle it. The sun really a problem at this time of day, and Fukudome will score. Castro to third. Right field in the daytime here at Wrigley, the toughest right field in all of baseball, and just got Hunter Pence.
Yeah, got the wind out there right now.
It looked like he was trying to play that ball out of the sun, play it off to the side a little bit, but unfortunately for him, he ended up playing it right into the heart of the sun. Tried to make the over-the-shoulder catch at the very last instant. Tips off his glove, rolls out onto the warning track.
Also just kind of reinforces what a great right fielder Fukudome is. Kosuke you don't see that happen out there with him.
Well, that's a good point. That is an error on Hunter Pence, so the Cubs taking advantage of 2 Houston errors today. 6-3 with Castro now at third. And time called. I noticed, Tom, you don't have one seat. We see you in every area of this ballpark, and that's kind of the way you like it, right? Kind of wander around.
I walk around almost the entire game. I try to get. Here's a hit. Come on, get out.
Deep left field, and Lee will make the catch. We will finish up with you, Tom. We come back from the break, and then we'll spring you, okay? 6-3 Cubs.
All right.
Hey, Chicagoland viewers, how would you like to win $5 footlongs from Subway? Just be the 500th texter to text Subway to 97999. Go to WGNTV.com for complete info and rules. Bill Hall is going to bat for the pitcher Rodrigo Lopez with a 6-3 lead. Hall pops it up. And it'll be Ramirez to make the catch over near the home dugout. Tom Ricketts, Cubs chairman. So after you're done with us, where are you headed today?
Oh, I'll probably head out that way a little bit and do the circle. And by the end of the game, I try to end up down by the on-deck circle. But, yeah, I do walk around, say hi to everybody, and just enjoy the atmosphere. And, you know, it's a nice community out here, and it's really great to see everybody. And I really enjoy being out here.
And I know that, you know, you ask fans questions, they ask you questions, and nobody's shy to hand out advice, I'm sure, to the Cubs chairman.
No, I get a lot of advice. Seems to be centered around a certain first baseman that plays at another team in our division, but it's all good, all good.
Bourne hits it foul. Everybody's waiting for this team to get on a roll. Still looking for their first 3-game win streak. A win today would be 2 in a row. And a lot of that comes down to consistent starting pitching. And with the injuries, it's been tough. That's hit very well, and it's going to get to the warning track. And Michael Bourne loses his helmet at second base, and he will make third with a triple. Michael Bourne is 3 for 3.
Yeah, you're right, Len. I mean, we haven't quite put it together for 3 games in a row yet this year, but it'll be there.
On a day with the wind blowing out at Wrigley Field, warm temperatures, you expect to see the power hitters flex their muscles, and it's the 2 smallest, fastest guys on the field that have had the biggest impact on this game. Michael Bourne, the center fielder for the Astros, and Tony Campana, the Cubs center fielder.
Well, along those lines, Matt Garza threw off flat ground, felt good today. That's good news. Hopefully he'll be back very shortly after this next road trip starts. If not St. Louis, then in Cincinnati. Randy Wells back in the rotation. There's a drive to deep left, and it's going to go. That is a 2-run homer for Clint Barmas, his second homer of the year, and the Astros are now within 1. Our line earlier when the Cubs led 3-2 was 3 runs will not win this game, and we get to the point here in the 5th inning with a wind gusting straight out. 6 runs may not win this game.
You figure the bullpens are going to play heavily in this game today. I talked about Clint Barmas earlier, how I thought he was going to be a real home run terror for the Astros. Started the season on the disabled list, but this is kind of what the Astros envisioned when they got Clint Barmas, a pull hitter. Take advantage of the Crawford boxes in Houston and takes advantage of the wind here at Wrigley today.
Meanwhile, the table setter Michael Bourne, 3 hits, a stolen base, and 3 runs. Here's Pence, 2-0. With a different perspective out here in the bleachers. Normally we're in the press box. If the wind blows in, we feel it. If it blows out, we don't. Well, the wind's blowing out and we're feeling it today, right in our face, but it feels good because it's hot.
Yeah, it's all right. This is really really helping the bleacher scene today. A little breeze. It is warm today.
Another deep drive, and they go back to back as Hunter Pence hits his 7th, and it's 6-6.
In that series against the Pirates, we talked a lot about Andrew McCutchen and how people outside of Pittsburgh didn't really know who he was. I think the same thing could be said for Hunter Pence outside of Houston. This guy's one of the better players in the National League, and very few people know about him.
That'll bring out Mark Riggins. Jeff Samardzija is up in the Cubs bullpen.
Well, the good news is it shouldn't take too long to get loose today.
Tom, we should talk about the middle of the summer coming up. You've got interleague play. The White Sox coming here. The Yankees come back to Wrigley Field for the first time since 2003, and lets fans reminisce about those World Series in the 1930s. The Cardinals will be back here. So some marquee matchups here at Wrigley Field this summer.
Yeah, we have a great schedule this summer. Hopefully everybody gets a chance to get on out and see a few games. That Yankee series will be a lot of fun. That'll be really electric. The whole neighborhood will just be alive that weekend. And obviously when the Cardinals are here, that's always a lot of fun.
Did you enjoy the monster seats at Fenway Park?
I did. That's pretty cool. I was up there with my sons, and unfortunately, a lot of balls were hit right at us, primarily by Red Sox players. But it was a lot of fun. Great energy up there. A lot of Cubs fans up there. That was a very fun night.
Big swing by Carlos Lee. And for fans who have not been to Fenway Park, I mean, if you go there and you realize that place was built in 1912, Wrigley Field 2 years later, and just structurally there are similarities.
Yeah, obviously the only other ballpark like ours at all in the league. We're a couple years younger than they are, and a little more symmetric. I think a nicer ballpark. But they've done a terrific job of rehabbing it, getting it ready for the next generation, and adding more fan amenities and making it a great place to watch a ball game, including adding those seats on the Green Monster.
2 down in the 5th. Jeff Keppinger takes a fastball high for ball 1. Down the middle. 1-1 the count. Action in both bullpens. Houston will go into its pen after Rodriguez was pinch hit for. And there's a base hit. Keppinger's 2 for 3. It'll be Brett Wallace. Sergio Escalona, a left-hander for the Astros. What parks have you not been to that you'd like to get to here in the next couple of years?
Well, you know, I'll be out in Washington for that series.
4th of July.
4th of July week, and take the family out there and do 4th of July in D.C. I've got to get out to PNC. I hear nice things about that park. You know, we're looking at different ideas for Wrigley, so maybe we can steal an idea or two out of there. I'll get out to San Francisco. That's one of my favorites. Probably a couple other ones this year.
If I had to pick a modern park that has a Wrigley feel, I think it is AT&T Park in San Francisco. Very vibrant around the area. Intimate setting.
Yeah, they've done a great job. I mean, they took, basically kind of like dock land area, and they put a park down there, and now it's got a whole culture around it and things to do, and it's close to the city. That's a big plus. So I'd recommend people getting out to see the Cubs there if they have a chance.
1-1 to Wallace. Diving knockdown play by Pena, but that just keeps it out of the outfield. And another hit. 5 of them in the inning. And that's going to be it for Rodrigo Lopez. Tom, thanks for stopping by today. It's going to be a wild finish, it appears, with a wind blowing out, but let's hope the Cubs can get some more runs and get their second in a row.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. We're doing a great job, and stay hydrated out here.
Sounds good. That's Tom Ricketts, Cubs chairman. We're in the bleachers. We'll be back.
You by Bud Light Lime. Just the right taste of Bud Light with a refreshing splash of 100% natural lime flavor.
Thanks to Cubs chairman Tom Ricketts for joining us in the bleachers. The Astros have come back with 3 runs. 2-run homer by Clint Barmas. Hunter Pence followed that up with a solo shot. And later back-to-back singles sending Rodrigo Lopez to the dugout. And here's Samardzija facing Chris Johnson. Astros led early 2-0. The Cubs came back in the bottom of the first and had led until now. Ooh, that almost got him on a slider.
might have tried to overthrow it just a little bit. Got away from him. Sails up and into Johnson. Got to do the limbo there to get underneath that one a little bit.
At the end of this half inning, there will be a national moment of remembrance. We'll have a moment of silence here on Memorial Day. Swing and a miss.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate Memorial Day today, we ask you to please stand and join in a moment of silence as Major League Baseball and the Chicago Cubs help mark the National Moment of Remembrance, which was created to remind all Americans of the importance of remembering those who sacrificed their lives in serving our country, and to provide an opportunity to join this expression of gratitude in an act of unity. Please join us now in this National Moment of Remembrance. Thank you.
Hey, great to have with us the winners of the Budweiser Thirst Row contest. Simon Collins, Sarah Kirchhoff, Graham Burns, and Dave Hayes. By way of Chicago, Elmhurst, and Rockford. Wave to the camera. There you go. Very nice. Hanging with us in the Bud Light bleachers.
Oh, yeah. Jimmy T right over their shoulder.
6-6. We're tied in the bottom of the fifth. Sergio Escalona, a left-hander, is on for Houston. How many days, Bob, have we said this is a good day to pitch with the weather? Well, today, not so much.
No. This is one of those days we talk about when the visiting team bus arrives at Wrigley Field and the pitchers walk up the very first ramp they can find to get into the stadium and check the flags and immediately get a stiff neck or sore elbow or gimpy hamstring. This is not the day most people like to pitch at Wrigley Field.
Escalona recalled on May 10th from AAA Oklahoma City. So he faces Carlos Pena to start it. And a slider over for a strike. Bob, we have been offered a cold towel.
Silly question.
Yeah, it's one of those days. Feels good.
We haven't seen Pena hit an opposite field home run yet this year, have we? I think everything he's hit out of the ballpark has been to right center or straight away right field.
About time.
Just to the left of the juniper bushes in center field would be perfect.
In the dirt, 1-2 the count.
Well, just as we expected, all 7 of his home runs this season coming to straightaway right field or right center field. He's going to do some damage against Escalona. It's probably going to be against a breaking ball. He's thrown him slow curve balls, a couple of sliders off the plate, low and away. Looks like he's not too anxious to challenge Pena with a fastball. There's one right there.
And he took it for a called third strike. We want to let our AT&T UVerse viewers in Chicago and around the country on WGN America know that during every Cubs home game this season, you go to channel 780 or high definition channel 1780. You can see a special multi-view presentation that shows you all of our different live camera angles here at Wrigley Field. It's pretty cool. So if you want to direct the game along with Skip Ellison, give a look to AT&T UVerse channel 780 or HD channel 1780. Here's Blake DeWitt. RBI triple in the third. And a base hit out in the left center. He's 2 for 2 since coming in for the injured Soriano. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Stop that man. Actually, nobody seems to mind. The bunt by Campana. The throw's going to go to second, and they will get DeWitt. That's one of those rare plays, Bob, where your best play is going to be second base because of Campana's speed running to first.
Tony, bunting is a big part of his offensive ball game. Unfortunately, he's bunted some foul down the third base line. That time tried to take it with him to the first base side, bunted it right back to the pitcher. But I don't expect him to be on first very long. Be a little more challenging against Escalona, a left-handed pitcher, than it was against Rodriguez, a righty. But I got to believe Tony's going to try to get to second base as quickly as possible.
Soto looks at ball one. One time the Cubs led 6-3, but the Astros, with back-to-back home runs in the top of the fifth, have tied it up. Just a few puffy clouds in the area, but lots of blue skies above on this hot day here at Wrigley. Breaking ball, strike 2-1.
Between every pitch, Bobby Dernier, the first base coach, goes up and whispers a few words in the ear of Tony Campana, telling him the times of delivery for Escalona to home plate. Maybe what to watch for in his delivery as to whether he's coming to first or going home.
3-1. Jeff Samardzija is on deck. And he's going to take the at bat in a tie game.
And even though that pushes the go-ahead run into scoring position with 2 outs in the inning, Len, I think the fact that Jeff Samardzija was in the on-deck circle and nobody was throwing in the Cubs bullpen made it a pretty easy pitch around for the Astros. They just were not going to give Giovanni Soto much good to hit, knowing that the pitcher was the next hitter. Well, sometimes you can decoy the opposing team. You have a couple of pinch hitters standing over there with helmets on. You have somebody throwing in the bullpen, even though you have no intention of taking Jeff Samardzija out of the ball game, but at least it plants a seed of doubt in that opposing manager's mind.
One career homer for Samardzija came in Milwaukee.
Opposite field home run.
Yeah, that's right.
My memory serves.
Good
Yeah.
call. Your memory's been really good today. Campana takes off for third, and the ball's bounced foul. Kick in the 0-2. A little bit inside. Campana gets third. That'll be his 4th stolen base today. 5 on the year, so all of a sudden he's tied with Starlin Castro for the team lead. Still has 2 steals to get to Eric Young's 6.
That's a balk. What? That's a balk.
And no call by any umpire. The Cubs dugout was up.
Well, I didn't see any step off of the rubber there. Looked like he just kind of jumped when Campana bluffed down the line at third.
And the ground ball to short, picked up by Barmas, and he gets him. Cubs strand a couple. It's 6-6 at the end of 5.
Well, Len, we're about probably 300 feet from the pitcher's mound as the score stands tied at 6 going to the top half of the 6th, but it sure looked like a balk by Escalona to me. Tony Campana deking down that third baseline. Escalona in the stretch position, and I never see him step off with that left foot. He started his motion toward home plate and then stopped. How can 4 umpires miss that? I mean, the only thing I can figure out is possibly there was timeout called somewhere on the infield, so that would negate any balk call. But, man, from this angle and certainly our replay angle, it looked like a balk. Once you start that delivery to home plate, you have to complete the delivery to home plate, and it was very, very apparent that Escalona did not do that. Started his move toward home, stopped, and turned and checked the runner coming down the line at third.
Now, let's see that back foot again if it moved off the rubber, but it's really hard to tell if that happened first.
And you would think the guys in the Cubs dugout who were a lot closer than we were, the Cubs coaches who watch for things like that very closely, would have put up more of an argument. Maybe we just missed something out here.
If you're in the bleachers, you've got the best vantage point. Whatever you say goes. Ball 1 to J.R. Tolles.
Well, I tried to call it right away, but they just wouldn't listen to me.
Well, this game is going to come down to the bullpens. The Astros pen has struggled in maintaining late leads. Their closer, Brandon Lyon, was struggling, and he went on the DL. Fouled back by Tolles. A lot of good hats today on this very hot and sunny afternoon. Fly ball, well hit. Blake DeWitt watches it go. The wind picked that one up, and J.R. Tolles has given the Astros their first lead since the opening inning. Their third homer over the last 2 innings. And it's 7-6.
That pitch up near the letters. Tolles with a good tomahawk swing. Really got his top hand involved that time. Cast it high in the air to left field, and Blake DeWitt quickly runs out of room. But we all know Samardzija is much more effective when he's keeping that ball down around the middle of the thighs or lower, especially that sinking fastball and the split finger. Making some mistakes up in the zone.
Another deep drive. Campana with the leap and the catch right in front of us. Nicely done.
Not tall of stature, but takes advantage of every inch of height he has. That 12-inch long outfielder's glove completely stretched out into the vines to make the catch on what appeared to be an extra base hit. Nicely done.
So he retires the pinch hitter Downs. And a bunt by Bourne. Barehanded by Ramirez. Got him.
It's time for the Chevy Youth Baseball League of the Game, and today we want to recognize Jack Phelan Chevrolet for their support of Lions McCook Little League. Jack Phelan Chevrolet and your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers are supporting leagues and young ball players in their communities through the Chevy Youth Baseball program. From the big leagues to the youth leagues, Chevy is truly the official vehicle of baseball.
Clint Barmas swings and misses. His big 2-run homer got the Astros back in the game. Went from 6-3 to 6-5, and then Pence followed that up with a game tire. Hey, we want to mention our good friends at Baseball Project, featuring Steve Wynn, Scott McCoy, Linda Pittman, and Mike Mills on base from REM. They're going to be across the street tonight at the Cubby Bear performing. Steve threw out the first pitch today. Called strike 3, so make sure you head on over and check it out later tonight. There's a Baseball Project. 7-6 Houston in the 6th.
Take the Chicago Cubs with you wherever you go this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Cubs game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Cubs.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere.
Well, the Cubs trail for the first time since the opening inning. But this is a day you got to score a bunch of runs. And Mario Del Rosario is on.
Swing it, swing it, swing it. This is pretty much the kind of day we expected, with the temperatures heating up and the winds blowing out. Somewhat undermanned Astros pitching staff. Let's see the Cubs start to flex their muscles a little more here.
We'll make a correction. Eric Young with 5 stolen bases in a game in 2000. The Cubs' modern day single game record. Tony Campana has 4 already in this one, and should get at least 1 more, maybe 2 more at bats. So let's see, 1 at bat, that's 3, 2 at 6, so he should end up with about 10 today.
I believe it was 1978 in the Texas League. Ricky Henderson was called on the carpet by the catcher for the Shreveport Captains about stealing bases as Fukudome goes down on strikes.
Who would that catcher have been?
It wasn't me. No, this was the year before I got there. But the catcher said he steals bases when it doesn't mean anything. This is in Double-A ball. So Ricky and his teammates proceeded to steal 14 bases as a unit. Ricky had 7 of his own the next night. That's where I learned very quickly, just keep your mouth shut. Throw out the ones you can. Hope the other guys overslide the bag.
I'm glad you haven't taken your own advice as a broadcaster, because keeping your mouth shut wouldn't work too well with a headset on. One-0 pitch to Barney. High chopper up the middle, and Barma's got him. Once again, let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Keep Wrigley beautiful, or I guess beautiful Wrigley keep. There we go. Slider caught the outside corner apparently.
And then a couple of big Cub fans enjoying some Memorial Day baseball on WGN. Eleanor Collings and Ralph Chase watching today.
Talking about the struggling Astros bullpen. That sinker is outside. They have a major league low 7 saves, a major league high 13 blown saves. They have 8 losses when leading going into the 8th inning.
Boy, those are crushers.
Castro just stays alive. Ball got out of the mitt of the catcher.
A fastball well off the plate inside. A lot of late movement by Del Rosario.
Actually, even if he had caught it, still would have been just 2-2 as he hits a dribbler up the line, and nice job by Del Rosario to touch it while it was in foul territory. That was an infield hit. Jeff Fulcino struggled yesterday. Mentioned Brandon Lyon, who was scuffling. He was on the disabled list. Mark Melanson probably get the save chance today. That was against Arizona as the Astros got swept at home.
That sweep moved the Diamondbacks into first place in the National League West.
Good take on a low slider. 3-2 the count.
A roundhouse slider from a low 3/4 delivery, dropped just below the strike zone.
I just thought about it, Bob. The thorn in the side of the Cubs today is about 40 feet in front of us. Michael Bourne. You should probably tell him to cut it out.
I don't think he'd listen to us. We could try.
Hey, Michael, cut it out. Barmes looks it in, throws off that back foot, and the Cubs go down in order. 7-6 Houston to the 7th.
Look at today's Bud Fan Cam.
Here it is, a groove slightly transformed. Just a bit of a break from the norm. Just a little something to break the monotony of all that hardcore dance that has gotten to be a little bit out of control. It's cool to dance, but what about a groove that soothes and moves romance? Give me a soft, subtle mix, and if it ain't broke, then don't try to fix it. And think of the summers of the past.
DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince with Summertime. That's our Bud Fan Cam. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds.
We're hanging with our buds in the Bud Light bleachers, and they will be helping us with the 7th inning stretch coming up. Breaking ball strike on Hunter Pence. John Grabo, a lefty, is up. Samardzija is 1-1. Where was that pitch?
I don't know. Pretty good from here. But then again, that's why they don't put the home plate umpire in the center field bleachers. That slider just stayed inside off the plate.
Fastball outside at 95. Pence tied it with a homer in the 5th. 3-2. Pulled in the left for his 3rd hit. Cubs fans, if you want to manage the game along with Mike Quaddy, log on to WGNTV.com right now. Click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner and connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and info while watching at home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape. Pools, patio sets, play sets, hot tubs, and more. Carlos Lee with an RBI single and 2 flyouts and a wild one by Samardzija. Now Pence takes second base.
Like a little bit of a stumble on the mound by Jeff Samardzija. Really pulled that fastball over into the left-handed batter's box. A backhanded swipe by Giovanni Soto. Can't stop it. Take a look on pitch tracks. Just a bit outside and low.
Two 2-0 on Lee. Carlos Lee got his 2,000th career hit of R.A. Dickey on May 14th. His first and his 2,000th career hits were off knuckleballers. His first hit as a member of the White Sox was off Tom Candiotti, then of the Oakland A's, back in 1999. Ball 4. Bring out the pitching coach, Mark Riggins. Samardzija got the final out of the 5th. Gave up a go-ahead leadoff home run to Tolles in the 6th. And now has allowed the first 2 to reach in the 7th.
Grabo's ready to go, probably for Brett Wallace, the left-handed hitter in the on-deck circle. Could possibly be Samardzija's last hitter here, especially if he does not get him.
Now a look at our Xfinity HD shot of the game. The sun. There's a baseball eclipse. Cubs baseball brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. One and 0 to Keppinger.
No sign of a bunt that time from Keppinger, even though there's nobody out. Runners at first and second in a one-run ball game. Astros don't use the sacrifice bunt very much at all. I believe they're next to the last in the National League, putting down sac bunts.
Second-year manager Brad Mills.
Dave Clark, the third base coach for the Astros, going through a series of signs here. Occasionally a manager will give a guy one shot at it. In an obvious sacrifice bunt situation, Cubs defense is all broken up. Guys are moving all over the place. You give that guy one pitch to try to drive a ball through that infield and then switch to the sacrifice bunt. We'll see what the Astros do here. No sign of a bunt there. Conventional wisdom is in a bunting situation, you throw a high fastball, and for a guy like Keppinger, a high fastball hitter, that's playing right into his hands. But no sign of a bunt in this at bat. Probably going to swing away.
Foul tips to make it 2-2. One gets all the way past Soto. Both runners advance. Two wild pitches in the inning by Samardzija.
Jeff really struggling with the release point. I mean, that ball hits a good 6-7 feet out in front of home plate. I've heard of wasting a pitch, but it's a little ridiculous.
Keppinger has always been a good contact guy. Doesn't strike out a whole lot. He's going to do what he can to put a ball in play if he gets something around the zone. 3-2. That was out of the zone. It was up, and he pops it up. It'll be Darwin Barney to make the catch in foul territory. Boy, Samardzija gets a break there. That pitch was going to be ball 4.
Yeah, big time break. That's way up out of the zone. Keppinger can't hold up, pops it weakly to the right side.
And it'll be Graybo against Wallace. Second and third. veteran left-hander John Grable. Not an easy spot. Second and third, only one out, as the Astros are trying to tack on, leading 7-6. Here we go. High on a slider for ball one. Are you ready to sing the stretch?
I'm always ready to sing.
You got the harmony part. Thank goodness we rehearsed. 1-2.
I'm always encouraged because we hear some of the best renditions of the 7th inning stretch, and we hear a lot of really bad ones. So I feel pretty confident today.
Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
That's all you want to do is. To the shortstop Castro, who was blocked by Carlos Lee. They get one, trying to get another, and Lee is out. The throw by Blake DeWitt to get Carlos Lee. Well, we had a really good look at that ground ball. Just as it got near Starlin Castro, Carlos Lee appeared to screen him. It got away from Castro and allowed the Astros to get their 8th run, but DeWitt keeping them at 8.
You're absolutely right. Right there, Castro was coming in a step or two to field the ball. El Caballo kind of ran around him and in front of the play to distract him. And boy, you can't make a much better throw than that. Blake DeWitt right on the money to Giovanni Soto. All he had to do was catch the ball for the out at home plate.
An error charge to Castro. No RBI for Wallace. It's now 8-6. Wilton Lopez up in the visitors' bullpen. Pitcher of record is Escalona. For the Cubs, it's Jeff Samardzija. 2-0. Borderline strike on Johnson. 2-1. Base hit left field. And it kicks away from Blake DeWitt. Wallace is going to score. 9-6. An RBI double for Chris Johnson.
Blake DeWitt tried to get over there and plant his left foot. We know Wrigley has taken an inordinate amount of rain this spring, including yesterday morning and afternoon. Not sure if that had anything to do with that slip or not, but clearly Blake DeWitt tried to plant that left foot and there was nothing there.
Well, both teams struggling defensively at times today. Yank foul by Tolles. Go ahead homer for him in the 6th inning. 2 big insurance runs here in the 7th.
Really shouldn't be surprised. Both these teams were tied for dead last in the National League in fielding percentage coming into play today.
Castro up with it. And time for the stretch.
Take me out to the ball game. from the bleachers, Len Casper and Bob Bradley.
Here we go. A 1, a 2, a 3.
Some runs!
Into it. Kind of a different perspective. Normally everybody's looking up at the booth, but today out here in the bleachers. Cubs hoping to hang that W flag today if they can. It's been a wild game. We thought it might be offensively, and we've seen 15 runs through 6.5 innings.
And when you expect a wild offensive ball game because of the conditions, that's when it is vitally important that you make all the plays defensively, run the bases intelligently, don't make any fundamental mistakes, because you never know which run is going to be the winning run.
Del Rosario back out there here in the bottom of the 7th. Ramirez bounces to the third baseman Johnson, who throws him out. We haven't seen a lot of the Astros here lately, but based on the bullpen issues in the setup that we've talked about, I think Brad Mills is open to anything. And with Del Rosario going 1, 2, 3 in the 6th, just put him right back out there in the 7th. You get guys out, you pitch.
I mean, there are a lot of hard things as a major league manager, but probably the hardest thing is when your bullpen doesn't take any shape, when you don't have a definitive closer, when you don't have a definitive setup guy, you don't have the lefty righty specialist to come in and get the big strikeout, and you're forced to mix and match, and every day it's somebody different in a different situation, just waiting for somebody to take charge. I mean, in that respect, Mike Waddy's been very fortunate that when the Cubs have had a lead late, the Marshall, Wood, Marmol trifecta has worked pretty well. Unfortunately, we just haven't had enough games where he can go to those three guys to finish out a Cubs victory. Tell you what, Len, we love our fans. We got some tweets about that balk earlier in the ball game.
Yes.
And some of the fans at home that were taping the game or had it on TiVo, whatever the case may be, they backed it up and slowed it down and backed it up, and they said he may have stepped off the rubber ever so slightly before making the move that he did, that I thought was a balk.
Yeah, if he moves that back foot back off the rubber first, then he can make that fake. Maybe somebody on AT&T Uverse with all the different camera angles directing the game at home. One and two on Carlos Pena. Wallace will take it by himself. Cubs have not hit a ball out of the infield against Del Rosario. Just past 4 o'clock and the Birds heading in. The late afternoon snack.
I think I saw Tippy Hedren sitting up in the back of the section here earlier. I don't know this for a fact, but I would assume that seagulls are deadly accurate. They choose a target, they hit the target.
Yeah.
That's why I drew that red circle on top of your hat this morning, partner.
Appreciate that. Base hit Blake DeWitt. He's 3 for 3.
Well, what a nice day for Blake DeWitt. Coming off the bench, an unexpected opportunity to get some at bats in a ball game, and comes through in a big way with his 3rd knock of the game. That's just nice hitting down and through that pitch that was away from him. Didn't try to pull it, stayed right on it, lined it into that gap in left center.
Tony Campana on his 25th birthday has stolen 4 bags. Just outside, 1-1.
Couple of lefties, Sean Marshall, Scott Maine cranking it up for the Cubs. I'll tell you, Len, it's not his game for Tony Campana to try to pull the ball, but if he would hook one down into that right field corner right now, it would be fun to watch him run the bases. Astros expecting him to try to hit to the opposite field. Bourne is over in front of us in left center a little bit. Pence cheating toward the gap in right center. A lot of room down that line.
Big leg kick, 2-1 pitch.
Get down.
Shallow left. Carlos Lee's going to get it. And that'll end the inning. We go to the 8th. 9-6 Houston. Time now for our Honda Games summary. The Astros going back-to-back for the first time this season, and in his Cubs debut, Rodrigo Lopez, kind of as advertised, had trouble keeping the ball in the ballpark, didn't walk anybody. Visit your local Honda dealer today to test drive the 2011 Honda Cross Tour, available with four-wheel drive. Jason Michaels, veteran outfielder, pinch hitting. Two and one. Spring cleaning.
The snow shovel away. Get out the barbecue grill.
This is Fukudome battling that sun and making the catch. Time now for the Cubs' upcoming schedule, brought to you by Lincoln. It's not just luxury, it's smarter than that. Feel smarter at Lincoln.com. Night game tomorrow. We're back on WGN Wednesday afternoon at 1 for the leadoff man, and then Cubs and Cardinals from St. Louis to start a 10-game road trip Friday night on WGN. Big day for Michael Bourne. Lots of other day action on this holiday Monday. Giants and Cardinals are tied 2-2 in the top of the fourth in St. Louis. Cardinals just completed a 6-3 road trip. Picked up by Barney. Short throw, gets the out. Seattle leading Baltimore 4-1 in the bottom of the third. Kansas City 6, Angels 2 in the top of the third. Yankees leading the A's 3-0 in the fifth. The A's coming off their first three-game sweep of the season as they took all three against the Orioles. Full slate later tonight. Actually, some finals. So I'll get to you here momentarily. Wireless service not quite as strong in the bleachers as it is in the press box. Detroit over Minnesota 6-5 a final. Philadelphia beat the Nationals 5-4, and San Diego went to Atlanta and beat the Braves 3-2 in 10. The other way to get the scores, to look at the iconic hand worked scoreboard here at Wrigley Field. And with a full slate in the National League, there's always a game that's not listed.
Somebody gets left out.
Yeah. Three and two to Barmas. Surrounded by Barney, and he gets the out. 1-2-3 for Grable, getting late. Cubs with just 6 outs to go, trailing by 3. Our Budweiser first row winners back in their seats, but still enjoying themselves thoroughly here on Memorial Day. Wilton Lopez, a right-hander, is in for the 8th. I want to take this opportunity to send out a big get well wish to Clem Gauchis, recovering from bypass surgery at Palos Community Hospital. And we hope you're feeling a lot better. Fastball for a strike on Giovanni Soto, who has struck out twice and has walked once. Astros, one of just 2 teams in the majors that have not reached 20 wins. They're 19 and 34. The Twins lost today to drop to 17 and 35. Looks like we might see a major league debut today. DJ LeMahieu, just brought up around Double-A Tennessee, is on deck. Will that get him in the hand or the bat?
It looked like it got him on the hand. He was not swinging at the ball. That's got to be a hit by pitch. Well, you hate to see that. A guy just came back off the disabled list. The Wilton Lopez fastball runs up and in. Looked like it caught Gio on the left hand. Oh, man.
And Brad Mills is going to come out because really there was no call made by Mike Everett. But Soto will take his base. Either he or a pinch runner will take first.
The only argument Brad Mills could really have was whether the ball hit the knob of the bat below the left hand, in which case it would be a foul ball. But it appeared to me that it caught Gio pretty good on the back of that left hand. Way to get on base, but that's exactly what the Cubs need. They need some base runners. Get some guys on for the middle of the order. Hope somebody can get one up into this stiff wind blowing out of here to left center field today.
So here is DJ LeMahieu. On a major league roster for the first time in his career. 22, went to LSU, a career .325 minor league hitter. Had a game-ending home run in spring training on WGN. And was batting .358 at Tennessee. He was second in the league in hitting. Particularly good against lefties this season at .459, but hitting .310 versus righties. Takes a roster spot of Jeff Baker, who went on the disabled list today.
And LeMahieu with a very quiet, very still approach at the plate. Not a lot of moving parts, just very quick from his setup to the baseball. A very well-schooled, solid, fundamental player. As you mentioned earlier, Len plays mostly second and third, but will take some reps at short and first base here as well.
Cubs had to make room on the 40-man roster, so they designated for assignment right-hander Jeff Stevens. to Brother Rice High School in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, the Detroit area. 1-2.
Boy, would I love to catch his first home run. I got my glove on.
Yeah.
I'm ready. The power of positive thinking, partner. Right here. Put her right in there.
Ground ball to the shortstop, Barmas. And a 6-4-3 double play.
Well, never seen a ground ball leave the ballpark. Unfortunately, DJ LeMahieu with a top spin grounder right at the shortstop, turning it into an easy double play. Been quite the whirlwind for DJ LeMahieu, Len. We were talking about it before the ball game as he put on his bright white new uniform with number 33 on the back and came out to take batting practice. It had to be a little bit of a culture shock. When you come up from the minor leagues, you're not used to seeing white baseballs in batting practice. They're usually grass stained and scuffed, and they don't really resemble baseballs very much other than the fact that they're round. And man, you come out here for big league batting practice, you got a bucket full of brand new baseballs, brand new batting gloves, brand new bats. I'm sure he'll get used to it very quickly.
Now, once you get a taste of this level, I think most guys say, just give me a chance. Then you get that chance, you never want to leave. You get greedy.
And it's a great motivator if you do happen to get sent back to the minor leagues to get back to the big leagues, because you know what awaits when you get there.
Mark Melanson up in the Astros pen. Cubs haven't scored off this Astros pen. They got all 6 of their runs, 4 earned off the starter Rodriguez. Looks like it'll be Scott Maine in the ninth. He's ready in the Cubs bullpen. And Lopez ready for a 2-2. It's full, 3-2. Missed on a changeup. Bousquet draws a 2-out walk. He's reached 3 times. Giovanni Soto's all right. Still looking at that left hand. Backup catcher Coy Hill ready if necessary.
The catcher's hands, needless to say, take a beating. You expect it when you're behind the plate. You don't usually expect it when you're at the plate. Reminds me of the old story about Joe Garagiola Sr. said a couple of old veteran retired catchers shook hands and needed a crowbar and 10 minutes to pry their hands apart. Fingers bent in every direction. Not quite the way it used to be with the advent of the one-handed catching, the much more flexible catcher's mitt. Guys can somewhat protect their throwing hand a lot more nowadays than you used to be able to.
A ball and 2 strikes to Barney. hot and breezy Monday afternoon, Memorial Day 2011. 88 degrees at game time. Ground ball up the middle. Barmes with a nice backhanded flip as he left his feet. They force Kosuke, and we'll head to the ninth. Astros 9, Cubs 6. Fans across the way over in right center, hoping for a Tony Campana baseball. Just flipped it up into the seats. 9-6 Houston. Here's lefty Scott Maine.
You know, Len, we probably should point out we love the fans in the right field bleachers too. It just so happens that it's easier for our crew to set up in this particular location.
Not as much as the left field fans.
No, we really like the left field fans. These are our peeps out here.
They've been great, hospitable, and well behaved,
and anxious for a comeback today.
Yeah.
That's what they're looking for. Ninth inning rally.
Big day for Pence. Triple away from the cycle. Double homer, single. Fastball right down the middle. I want to send out a happy birthday wish to a former Cub, retired left-hander Scott Ayer.
Where do you suppose Scott is right now? Driving around somewhere in his RV?
I would hope so. Spending time with his family.
Oh, he was always fun to be around. Steve Ayer.
Three and one. It will be Melanson in the bottom of the ninth. Right now, it would be a save spot for him with a 3-run lead. Fouled back. Still 3-2. A leadoff walk.
This has to be one of the more patient days the Astros have had at the plate. Not necessarily drawing a lot of base on balls, but working a lot of deep counts, seeing a lot of pitches. Only the Cubs have drawn fewer walks in the National League this year than the Astros.
Wide for ball one to Carlos Lee. Main behind again. All time on Memorial Day, the Cubs 6 games over 500. Prior to 1971, Memorial Day was May 30th, regardless of the day of the week, as that'll be knocked down by Fukudome. Lee slides in with a double.
You don't see Carlos Lee go the opposite way very often. That time a fastball middle thigh out over the plate, just shot it into right field when Kosuke had a little trouble picking it up. El Caballo just rounded the bag at first and chugs into second with a double.
Cubs will have to bring their infield in. Already trailing by 3. Keppinger, who likes lefties, fouls a fastball back. 1 strike. A fly ball deep and gone. A 3-run homer into the bleachers in left. And the Astros have opened up a 6-run lead. First of the year for Keppinger, just recently came off the DL. He hit 4 home runs today.
Another elevated pitch, that one up above the belt. All you really have to do is make solid contact today. You don't really have to supply a lot of the power. Just get the barrel of the bat on the ball with a little bit of lift, and it'll ride out of here easily.
Castro, plenty of time to get Wallace.
Which is why on a day like this, it's even more important than usual to keep the ball down. The hitting coaches have a term for those fastballs that are up there around the belt on a day like this. They're fence high fastballs, which means all you have to do is make solid contact, and it's probably going to do some damage.
That's high. Astros have scored the last 9 runs unanswered. They were trailing 6-3 at one point. Two and 2 on Chris Johnson. Full count, 3-2. Chris Johnson, on a personal level, has been a little distracted. His sister Bridget, just 11 years old, was involved in an accident. She was riding her horse. She was hit by a car. Part of her left leg was severed. Members of the Red Sox and Yankees helped pay for her medical bills. Bridget and Chris's dad, Ron, is the first base coach of the Boston Red Sox. She's had multiple surgeries, and Chris says they text back and forth quite a bit, but she's doing a lot better. That's great news. I guess HBO Real Sports did a nice segment on her situation. Diving stop by Ramirez. He gets up with it. Little double clutch. Late. Second hit of the day for Chris Johnson.
A quick trip to the mound by Mark Riggins to talk it over with Scott Main, his left-hander. Got to get the outs when the outs are there. Ground ball to Ramirez just a little bit to his left, had to leave his feet to make the play, and by the time he got back up and threw across the diamond, Johnson was able to leg it out for an infield hit.
Astros already with a season high 12 runs. Right now, the game-winning hit belongs to J.R. Tolles. A leadoff home run off Jeff Samardzija in the 6th. Swing and a miss. Angel Sanchez on deck. He would be the 4th pinch hitter in that 9th spot. Melanson is still throwing in the Astros bullpen, even with a 6-run lead. He's going to pitch the bottom of the 9th. A slider strike.
He's thrown about 3 innings in the bullpen already. That's one thing you have to deal with too. We talked about the bullpen issues for the Astros and guys trying different roles and looking for some kind of semblance of an orderly bullpen down there, and Mark Melanson finds himself as the closer all of a sudden. He probably doesn't know quite how to prepare as the closer.
Hard hit ball. Barney couldn't handle it. Castro will throw to third. It's late. And the other runner advancing as Tolles will get the second.
This is just getting uglier by the moment. Lack of focus, lack of concentration, no reason to make that throw from your knees back over your left shoulder, allowing the runner to move up into scoring position at second base, taking away any chance of a possible inning-ending double play.
Barney charged with an error. Tolles able to move to second on Castro's throw to third. Here's Sanchez.
Now there's very little chance of anything good happening on that particular play when you find yourself on your knees facing the left center field wall and try to throw back over your left shoulder with a runner coming into third base.
Cubs with 3 errors in the game.
Hold on, partner.
A gust of wind just kicked up. Barney will get the out. Runners holding. Now the throw to second. They're going to get Tolles. So a base running gap by the Astros gets the Cubs out of the inning. Earlier in the inning, Keppinger with a 3-run homer to make it 12-6. Day at Wrigley, the Astros certainly have taken advantage of that, pounding out 4 home runs. The Cubs with 1. And they trail Houston 12-6 as we get to the bottom of the 9th in a non-save spot. It'll be right-hander Mark Melancon.
Well, occasionally a closer in a situation like this has trouble getting the necessary game adrenaline going, but Melancon hasn't been a closer that long. I don't think it's going to be a problem for him. He's a guy that's used to that phone ringing in the bullpen, hearing his name called anywhere from the 6th to the 9th inning, but right now he is the closer for the Houston Astros.
Comes in with a 1.85. His final warm-up tosses. Looked like Starlin Castro was ready to hit a little early. Now Melancon's ready.
You get 8 on the game mound. No matter how loose you are in the bullpen, when you come out to that game mound, you get 8 pitches, no more, no less. You don't have to take all 8, I guess, but you're allowed 8 warm-up tosses on the game mound.
Melancon has thrown a lot of strikes lately. Over his last 10 games, he's made 130 pitches. 97 have been strikes. So here we go. And he promptly throws ball 1. 97 of his last 131 have been strikes.
And counting.
That one in there, 1-1. Are you going to go lay out in the sun after this game?
Yeah, just to even out my tan a little bit. I got a real bad farmer's tan working here today. Put some sleeves on without a shirt.
We call this a bleacher broadcaster tan
there
today. A fly ball well hit, deep right center. Right at the base of the wall, Starlin Castro with a double.
Good start. Starlin Castro was in a real hurry to get up there and take his at bat. I think he wanted to get something going for his offense here, and he does so, splitting that gap in right center field, banging a double off the door out there.
Ramirez 1 out of 4 with a run. Cubs should not be in a hurry to swing the bat here in this inning. They need a lot of base runners. Still believe. Two and one. Yankees got Melanson from the Yankees, or rather the Astros got Melanson from New York. Trade deadline day last season in the Lance Berkman deal. Though he's pitching in relief, he leads their team with 4 wins. Clint Barmas has had a busy and productive day defensively as he gets Ramirez, runner at third, 1 out.
Third baseman number 22, Carlos Pena.
Tomorrow night, Carlos Zambrano will go for the Cubs, and a guy making his major league debut at age 20. Right-hander Jordan Lyles in for the injured Wandy Rodriguez. Doug Davis will go for the Cubs here on WGN Wednesday. That's an afternoon game, 1 o'clock for the leadoff man. Doug's still looking for his first Cub win, and he'll be opposed by Houston's Brett Myers, who's 1-4, his only win coming against the Cubs in April. Off day Thursday, one of 2 off days left in the first half. They're off on Thursday, and then June 23rd, and then the next off day will be the All-Star break on July 11th. Run will score to make it 12-7. Pena will get an RBI on the ground out. And it's up to Blake DeWitt. Base is cleared, 2 outs.
Well, it's unexpectedly turned into a good day for Blake DeWitt. Came into the lineup after Alfonso Soriano went down with a strained left quadriceps muscle and promptly wrapped out 3 base hits.
Well, we don't know the severity of the Soriano injury, but the Cubs already without Marlon Byrd on the DL. Reed Johnson, Jeff Baker. They did get Soto back. Backhanded by Keppinger, and that'll do it. The Astros come from behind and beat the Cubs today with a wind blowing straight out. 4 home runs as they beat the Cubs 12-7. drops the Cubs to 3-4 on this homestand. Well, we had fun in the bleachers. Everything went well except the final result. And we'll have more from the friendly confines. The sun is out, summer is here, but unfortunately the Cubs on the short end of a 12-7 decision.